Let's start with the Iron Bowl. Alabama 15-point favorites at Auburn. They go to Jordan-Hare on the Plains, where things typically get weird. This is Saturday afternoon, the CBS game. Fellas, Auburn does not typically win nor compete when they go to Tuscaloosa. But on the other hand, when they play at Jordan-Hare, as our friend Jake Crane said, it's like that's built on an Indian burial ground. Bad Auburn teams compete, might even win over Alabama. That's a large total at 15. Which way are y'all leaning?
I am leaning tentatively towards Auburn just because the whole world is taking Alabama in this one. And, typically you like to zig when everybody's zagging when it comes to spreads. Auburn's at a low point. But if you think that they're not going to get up for this one at home against their arch rival, you're sadly mistaken. So I think, Alabama probably wins this game by 14. Auburn still has a pretty good defense. I know Diego Pavia would disagree with that, but Auburn still has a pretty good defense. They can cause some problems, and it's the Iron Bowl at Jordan-Hare, so I think it's going to be closer than the experts think.
You're absolutely right that Auburn's going to get up for this one. The problem is Alabama's going to put them back down. It's not going to be very close in my mind. I think Alabama is a much better team who's playing like a team that needs to make the playoff, right? This is a team that needs to show some good showings. They need to have comparative victories and results over teams, and I think that they know that. And look, I'm not going to bet against Nick Saban in this one. I'm going to bet that he's going to have his guys ready to go. Look, I know that Auburn gets up for these ones. I think that it's going to be ugly. I don't think that after what you saw last week. Look, I understand Auburn is sitting there saying, well, Bama lost to ULM, and then they went on and had a dynasty. Well, Nick Saban isn't in your locker room. Okay, Nick Saban ain't your head coach. I refuse to believe that Freeze is that guy. And look, it ain't your year, Auburn. You don't have the dogs. You don't have the guys to run with them. It's just not going to be your year. Alabama's going to roll this one. Roll Tide. It's going to be awesome to watch, but you're probably going to have to turn it off about halfway through because of just, pure mercy and your, understanding of humanity. It's going to get ugly for the Auburn Tigers.
I don't think it's going to be that bad, especially on the Plains, but it is interesting. My favorite fact out of this, the result of a 4-year-long debate ultimately gave us the Iron Bowl. In the Alabama State Senate, it was an argument over land grant rights that was contentious. It might have been pretentious too. Contentious. It was a heated debate. Lots of name calling back and forth. Burning bridges left and right. Auburn ultimately wins. They get the land grant to erect a new university. So in some cases, you could say Auburn won the first ever Iron Bowl. Bama leads a series of 49-37-1. They've won 4 of the last 5. I'm going to take Alabama to cover against my better judgment here on the Plains. Alabama is so much better than Auburn, and I know in a rivalry game, you throw that out. You throw the records out. Sometimes you throw the on-field performance out. It was said around the country that Auburn losing to New Mexico State is the worst thing that could have happened for Alabama running away with this game. I think that logic is a bridge too far. I think that's a couple logical leaps in there. Nick Saban, for any other coach, that could be true, but it's Nick Saban. This team, Garrett, like you were saying earlier with Oregon, they need to style point this. They need to go out with a bang. They want to take a lot of momentum into the SEC championship game, and I think they get that done.
Gracious, how about